Hello, thank you for tuning into my channel. This is my Finish It Friday / Sunday video for Friday, February 7th or Sunday, February 9th, 2025. So if you want to see what I've been working on this week, please stay tuned. I'm very excited to share what I've been working on this week. It has been a fun week in my craft room. I'm in kind of a different location, so I hope that it's not too distracting. I know there are some shadows behind me, so please bear with me while I go through today's video. This is not my normal sewing space, so if you're new to the channel, this is not what my videos normally look like, but I hope that you will be patient and stick with me throughout this quilting journey. As I said earlier, I've had a great week this week. I've actually tried to film this once before, but I have two segments that don't have any audio, and so we're re-filming it today. I have my list of my priorities for this month, and so we'll just go down the list one at a time, and there are a couple places that I will insert a snippet or two of the the segments that actually have sound on them so that you can see them, and it'll go through some of my progress as well. There will be pictures probably right here when it's time for a picture to come up. It'll be on this side. So let's get started. I first have my priority of my daddy's quilt. His birthday is near the end of the month. I'm hoping that I can have his quilt completely finished, even though I'm still working on the quilt top right now. I finished 6 blocks for the Jacob's Ladder quilt. I'm going to put those 6 blocks right here. Thankfully, I didn't have any humble blocks for this week. All of the cutting for these blocks seemed to be good, and the blocks went well together. I'm very excited to see this quilt top come together. I made some of these color combinations quite a while ago, so it's pretty cool to see them as they show up now in the blocks. So much fun. Really looking forward to getting this quilt done. I do have the backing. I'm pretty sure the backing that I have is the correct size for this quilt, and so I'm really looking forward to getting the quilt top finished and getting it on the long arm very soon. Now, the next thing on my list is my great-grandmother's quilt top, my grandma Maddie. She quilted, or she pieced a quilt top, I don't even know how long ago. I'm guessing between, I'm guessing sometime around the 1950s or 60s, but it's my mom's quilt top, and she wants me to turn it into a quilt, and I have a picture of the quilt right here. This week has been a research week for this quilt. I have been trying to go ahead and start repairing some of the holes. We've repaired the seams that that need to be repaired, but there are some holes in the quilt where the fabric is torn, and I'm just a little bit nervous still about getting to them. But I did decide to sort of focus on the biggest section. It is not done, but I have a couple options here that I'm thinking about using to fill in the space. I'm going to put a picture of the empty space here, and then I'm going to show you the different options that I have that I'm thinking about using to fill it. The first one is a fabric that it has some red and white in it. It's a series of different hearts, and it has other colors as well, but there are some pieces of red and the hearts are white. And so I'm going to put that one here. I like it because one of the fabrics where the hole is red. The other one is kind of a cream. And so I think that this fabric would kind of blend those together, and I can kind of fussy piece it in a way that would be pretty cool. The only thing is that my fabric is new, and I know that my great-grandmother's fabric had already been washed and stuff, and so I'm concerned about this fabric bleeding on the rest of the quilt. So I don't think it's going to be the best choice, but I do like the look of it, and I'm not sure what to do. Another piece that I have, it has a white background and like little orange flowers with green leaves. I'll put that one here so you can see it. I like it because the colors blend with that one fabric. I think it would look okay. And then it's not too busy, and I'm not concerned about bleeding like I am for the other one. But like I said, it's a thinner fabric. I will be interfacing it to secure it in place, no matter which fabric I choose. But this one is kind of thinner, so I don't know how well it would work with the rest of the quilt top. My last idea would be to just take a piece of plain muslin. The backing is going to be muslin. The binding is going to have some aspect of muslin. I haven't decided about a flange or what. I haven't decided yet, but I know that it's going to have muslin in it. So I think that this will be a nice choice. It's neutral, no big deal. It'll be easy to find. I do have some muslin in my scraps that I could just slap there, that I could just place on the place behind that hole, and then just put the interfacing around it. I think that would be pretty good. All of those choices are, I think, good choices. The red is the least safe for me, but I think either of them would be fine. Let me know in the comments what you think. It doesn't really matter, and I know that my pictures are very close up, but the hole is actually probably about a $50 width. So in the grand scheme of this quilt, which I'm estimating is 60 something by 80 something, this will not be noticeable. Also, I'm going to be doing some embroidery over all of these little patches, so that I have some of my hand stitches on the quilt along with my mom's and along with my grandma Maddie's. So I'm going to have to learn embroidery, which is going to be quite a fun thing to do, I think. And I've chosen some patterns. I downloaded some free patterns, and I'm going to insert a little snippet here so that you can actually see the patterns that I downloaded and printed to hopefully use for this quilt. These are the designs that I downloaded. I just typed in my search embroidery for beginners free downloads or something like that, and so these are the ones that I have. They're from the DMC website, and so this one is called the Beginner Embroidery Sampler. And then I found one, you guys know how I feel about hearts, and I love hearts. So here's another one. It's called Visible Mending Hearts. I hope that's not backwards. I hope that it's right way around as you're looking at it. But it has a lot of different hearts, and so I really am looking forward to trying some of these on my great-grandmother's quilt. And then just for fun, I pulled this one. It's called Ice Lollies. And so it's little ice creams. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do as far as trying to embroider, but I like this one, I think, the best. And so this one might be what I go with, but I know that I need at least this to kind of practice. So just to practice the stitches and then transfer them onto here. I'll see. I don't know. But I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to getting this challenge down. But I know first I need to get that quilt repaired. So really fun. I'm going to try not to let myself be paralyzed by the fear of tearing up my great-grandmother's quilt. But we're doing great, so no worries on that. The third thing on my list is my niece's quilt. And I did make a little bit of progress on my niece's quilt. I went ahead and pressed all of those half square triangles, and I was going to try to make the practice block this week, but I was doing it like in the morning before it was time to go to work. And then as I started reading the pattern, I was like, wow, that is a lot of work. The pattern that I'm using is called Stairway to Heaven by Dickman. I think it's really going to be a fun pattern and use up a good bit of scraps. But in that moment when I was trying to lay it out, it was a little bit overwhelming. So I need to just take more time when I get ready to do that. Plus, I want to make some more half square triangles. I really would like for this first block to have scrappy stairs, but I don't know. I do have enough from that 2.5 inch strip to make one block, but I don't know. I have with me in my car because I think I'm gonna work on this even if I'm not at my house. I have my larger pieces that need to be cut down to 2.5-inch strips. And so I might work on that today if I get a chance. So just getting them pressed and getting them cut down to 2.5. If I can do that, I think that would be a nice use of my time. And then I could take the scraps and go ahead and put them in a bin or something. I don't know what I'm going to do with the pieces that I can't use, but I think that it would be worth it if I get a chance to start cutting these into 2.5-inch strips. So that's going to be a cool thing. I decided to bring you in here while I do a little bit of pressing for my niece's quilt because I forgot something earlier when I was talking about my projects for the week. And excuse my hair, I am deep conditioning right now, so I'm wearing a plastic cap while I do this little bit of work, pressing, and I think I'm gonna cut. My cutting mat is right here too. But I forgot to mention that I did a little bit of scrap organization. What reminded me was that I do need to cut these strips down, and I went back into my big scrap tote, and I pulled out some more blue fabric. So I'm going to show you that in I guess right here or right here somewhere in the video so that you can see it. But I also decided to start organizing those fabrics by color, and so I started to put some plastic bags, some little baggies in my container. So I have some little plastic bags. I think I have about 6 or 7 of them that I've begun to sort by color. So I'll put a picture of those here so that you can see those. Not a lot of pieces sorted, but I think it's going to give me a great head start so that from this point forward, whenever I dig into that tote, I can start sorting by color. So I just wanted to insert that in there. I hope that you guys are having a great day, and I will see you in the next video. I actually had a little bit more on that snippet than I remembered, so I just want to pop in here and show you a little bit more of the work that I've done on my niece's quilt. I actually did this today. I'm actually filming on Sunday, but I want to show you what I've been working on today as a part of this quilt. I took my plastic bin. You guys have seen the plastic tote that I had my fabrics from, my scraps that I pulled for this quilt. I pulled some blues and some whites and some grays. And yesterday and today, I went through pressing some of those fabrics, and then I've been cutting them down into 2.5-inch pieces. So many of the pieces are strips, and I'll just kind of go through these a little bit, or I'll zoom in. That's probably a better idea. Let me zoom in so you can see them. I will not do any big whatever with them, but it's just kind of an assortment so you can see them. I have a variety of 2.5-inch strips here, and then I have some 2.5-inch squares as well that I've cut from these fabrics. There's still about a half a tote, I think, of scraps that need to be cut down, but I already have some of them. I have some 2.5-inch strips already at home, but these are some that I have cut since I'm away from home. And then I decided in this extra little bag here, my pieces that are going into my scrap bin. So these are strings and crumbs that will be further sorted when I get back home. But this is kind of where I am today on this project. I'm really looking forward to completing it, working on it, getting some more done on it. So I just wanted to share that with you today. The fourth thing on my list is the sewing machine repair. And I haven't really worked on that at all. I haven't even watched videos. I did try to take the screws off of the part that was broken once, but I wasn't able to do that, so I'll need more time for that as well. Okay, and then I had my two sort of bonus projects, which were the Jamaican Sunrise quilt, putting the sleeve and the binding on. I didn't work on that at all. And then as far as my son's quilt, the stained glass stars, I did go to my 2.5 inch, my 10-inch squares, and I pulled out those colors that I thought would work, and I actually put them in the box with the other materials for the quilt. And that's all I got done on that, and I'm good with that. So for this next week, I'm really looking forward to, hopefully, I think I can finish those last 6 blocks for the Jacob's Ladder quilt. I think that'll be a lot of fun. And then I can at least get the courage to repair some of the holes. Maybe 2, at least 2 of the holes. And all that is interfacing and maybe a little bit of fabric. So if I can get those things done, it would be so amazing. That's what I'm looking forward to this week. Let me know in the comments what you are working on, what you're excited about for this upcoming week and for the rest of the month. I would love to support you in whatever your goals are. Please leave that in the description box. If you have any questions about what you've seen, leave them in the comments below as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.